Whether your beer is in a bottle, can, or glass, kick back and relax. It's Better on Draft.
We are live, episode 334 of the Better on Draft podcast. My name is Ken. Thank you so much for joining us on this mild Friday evening here in Michigan. At least it's probably 115 where Dan is over in Arizona.
I mean, it was 80 today, so
must be nice. Let's go around, see what everybody is drinking. Dan, we're already talking to you. What are you drinking?
Yeah, so finally, I haven't had it on draft in a while. I've got a White Russian from Sunup Brewing.
Rob, you're reaching the record mark for new guests or new hosts. What are you drinking?
I have a blueberry muffin top from Oso Brewing from my Wisconsin trip. This is actually day 2 of my advent calendar. I'm catching up.
Wendy,
You're
what
supposed
about
to
you?
drink those all at once when you're catching up.
I am drinking a couple of my favorites today. I have got a Kunin's White Devil and a drafting table Buzz blanket. Definitely two of my favorites.
I was going to say, if you're catching up to an advent calendar, I think Nick is still drinking his 2021 advent calendar.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So I think you guys are still making good time. For myself, I have from my bargaining days, Massacre 2017 got for $1. And then I also have a original milkshake stout to kind of limit the 15% lager, barrel-aged lager that's in my hands. But with today, as we get closer and closer to Christmas, folks, I don't know about you guys, but everybody loves to tell me I am a bitch to shop for. I'm blessed enough to be able to just buy whatever I, may need or may want. And I never really save for people to get me gifts. So a lot of people have to think outside the box when it comes to gifts. It might be a trip. It might be something where, I buy for myself, but then I never spoil myself. Like I don't buy anything too luxurious. So everything that they'd have to buy would be like $500. So I want to talk to you guys today. As we do not have a guest in the studio. And I want to go over and hear your thoughts on a little topic that I brought together as I'm trying to stall for time to get to this specific, there it is, link here, which is, if you guys are not watching, of course, you can always watch on youtube.com/Better on Draft, twitch.tv/Better on Draft. But the 40 best gifts for beer lovers in your life. This is a list thanks to a great apparent website called bestproducts.com.
This will be legit.
Never heard of it before. This is one of those obvious data mining websites that just kind of put together thousands of different lists. But I want to see if maybe there might be something that piques your interest. Maybe something that you might want to ask Santa Claus to send your way today for Christmas. So we're going to go down and see if these are anything that we want, starting with a canned beer draft system. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Dan, I mean, you probably pay more attention to it. Looks like it just turns a can and pours it into a beer as a beer.
I've seen it like this before. I've never seen one in person. I didn't know it was still a thing.
So you basically, looks like you put your can in there. Does it just like crack the top and add like oxygen to it?
Probably just cracks the top and pours out.
It reminds me of those juice machines that just squished the fresh juice bag that you subscribe to.
Oh, geez.
I don't know if this is something, especially for $100, that I would want. Even
Can't
though
I just pour the can into my own glass and be done with it?
Not look as nice if you do it that way.
At this point, you're almost better off in just investing in a kegerator. Like $100 into a glorified mini fridge that adds like a keg system to it. You can easily get, I don't know what a kegerator goes for these days. Is this something that you would want someone to buy you?
Hell no.
Nobody.
No.
Place my 3 tap.
I'm trying to think what I would do if I saw it in someone's house.
laugh at
Try
it.
it.
He's like,
Try
hold on,
it.
hold on. I gotta put the can in there, and then I gotta open. It just seems like a lot of extra work.
Kind of like the draft top.
It says this is more than just a mere pour. It actually uses ultrasonic vibrations to create a pop of foam. And
So it seems to me kind of like the chope, however you say it, the Brazilian style of beer. It sounds kind of similar to those machines, where it
maybe
creates foam that keeps your beer cool.
I definitely have to look it up. There's nothing. Nobody could buy this for me. That would be just such a
think I
waste
would.
of.
Found a wedding present.
You
don't
use
think
it like once, pull it out when people are over for a party or something, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like I at some point I would get so bored with it and just
It would
open
sit
the
there and
beer.
collect. It'd sit there and collect us. No one sees it that regularly.
for sure. Number 2 was a gift, probably a gift card from Tavor or something like that, which of course we can't use here in Michigan. Number 3, double walled frozen pint glass.
So I have one of those.
You do? What do you think
It's-
of it?
It's a double walled beer mug though, or Stein type thing. So it's a big plastic thing. Freezes. I love it for those lawnmower type beers where a really cold beer is really good. And I will drink out of it in my hammock sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Now, in our chat on YouTube, because of course we're live on YouTube, youtube.com/better on draft, they said, is that like the physics system? So I'm guessing it is, but I'm guessing there's probably some benefits to utilizing this specific one from the sharper image. Maybe they're trying to sell advertisements, or they have like a referral code so that when you buy it off of their site, they get a kickback. So that might be it.
I'm
But
sure that's all of these.
that might quite be the case. So you have a double walled glass. I don't. Ever since I learned about like why the like super cold beer, like why they serve it super cold and the not benefits you get from it, like I'm not one to really utilize someone. Like when I see someone with a freezer tank, like they have the beer glasses in the freezer and they're about to pull it out to pour my beer in it, I get scared. Like, oh no, you're gonna kill my beer. I would like this even if it was maybe something smaller, like a rocks glass for like whiskey or something like that. Like if I want to chill some whiskey, depending on what kind of whiskey I'm drinking.
Yeah, I was just thinking vodka soda, because those, especially if it's not cold out, those can warm up pretty quick. So that would be nice for something like that.
Or even like an ice-free option for your cocktails. Like if you're looking to maybe strain, if you're doing a nice cocktail and you're like straining it into a glass, like having this kind of glass, keeping it cold for a long time, I think would be super beneficial. Is this something you guys want for Christmas though?
No thanks.
That's how I got mine, was as some sort of gift.
Are you someone that's hard to buy
Of course.
for, Rob?
Yes, of course. Same problem. When you have your own disposable income, you dispose of it.
I've seen this so many times, the UKEG carbonated growler. It's basically just go on, Dan.
I was gonna say, don't you have one of these?
I do not.
I thought you did, but maybe it was something similar. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this reminds me of the 5-liter mini kegs that you buy for some of the beers here in Michigan, like Newcastle or Bell's Oberon.
Shout out to that episode with the guy from the Red Wing show.
Oh yeah. the Hop Slam.
I think that's the only time we've had a mini keg on the show.
Yeah, so this is basically a product that allows you to, I guess, carbonate your growler, keep it carbonated for a long time, maybe, I don't know, and make it pour as if it was on draft. I'm kind of curious about the whole thing. This is one of those things that just, especially at $150 too, Jesus. Yeah.
So this is one that my friend does have, and he got as a gift for Christmas. It was a few years back, but it's The convenience here is it's a growler, so you take it in and you get it filled at your local shop. You don't have to get, they don't have to have kegged it or something. Or you take it home and as you said, you carbonate it so the pressure stays at least close to what it should be, so you can drink it a lot slower.
So I'm assuming they use like a CO2 cartridge for this.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It looks a little like for the pellet guns.
Okay.
I was muted
I was
this
gonna
whole
say,
time. And you
does
were all
anyone want to
letting me-
tell Ken? I was just waiting because I was
That's
watching
right.
you talk.
y'all?
I muted myself to tell you.
No. I was gonna say I can't think of a time where I've wanted a growler that I wasn't gonna drink right away, and then I was gonna
Yeah.
say Rob, one of his local beer bars was having some high octane beers that they were giving out, to where this is probably the one time that I would maybe want to be able to savor a growler if it's something that's like 18%. Like if I have the opportunity to get like a growler of say Wolverine Massacre, at 15%, I'm not going to finish a growler by myself in one night. So that's the only reason why I would want that. But at that point, I probably wouldn't buy a growler anyways. But is this something you would use for those days at your bar, Rob?
So my friend used it. It worked out for me too, but on those days where there's a sale, like on a Sunday beer sale, $6 growler. So you fill that up, and maybe you are planning to drink Sunday night, maybe not, maybe again Monday or Tuesday, but they're pretty good in the if for that case where you don't know exactly when you're going to get to the beer, but you got a cheap beer that's available for you, and then maybe you just have a pint of it one night or half a pint even. So it just keeps it for longer, and it's worked out. I do have those weeks like that for sure.
I just don't think there's one keg of beer that I would, or draft beer that I would want. But this next one looked pretty cool. Outdoor patio furniture with beer and wine coolers. So it looks like basically just like a high top with the ability to put ice into a cooler at the bottom. This is one where I've been harking on the price, but for only $90, I feel like that's not that bad of a price. Holds up to 40 cans, weather resistant, hidden cooler. It's got a drainage plug at the bottom. I feel like I might want to ask for this for Christmas this year. What about you guys? What's your thoughts on this outdoor patio furniture?
Yeah, that would totally fit in my patio,
It seems like an upgrade from the kiddie pool full of ice.
right?
Yeah, this is the first good one. I think that's come up here.
What this would be cool too is for if you're going to, like, all I can think about is all the times where I've done like hotel parties and stuff, and being able to have, because I'm the kind of person that would plug the tub and fill it up with ice, and like here is just like, oh, here's an extra table for people to put drinks on, and a little bit of a cooler too. Yeah, this actually looks pretty cool for this, especially for anyone that has some type of patio or even a centerpiece in a house, like having a small little extra high top.
I think it'd work in a garage or on a driveway or out in a parking space or
oh
any of
yeah,
those places.
Oh yeah, for sure. Beer hot sauce. Are you guys into the beer adjacent food and food like beverages and drinks and sauces?
I can't think of a
Sure.
single one.
I've got a beer mustard. in my fridge right now. This is the perfect kind of gift that people get me.
A beer mustard.
Well, yeah, or beer adjacent things. So a beer infused hot sauce seems like something that I would enjoy or receive
That's
as
a
a
good-
gift.
That's a good gift to get because you wouldn't buy it for yourself.
Right.
So
Yeah,
that's
there's many good hot sauces out there. I don't know
maybe
if I need
this is
a
a
beer
good one.
one.
We don't know. We haven't tried it.
Probably not. Probably not on that level. I'm willing to bet.
Part of the problem is that there's so many hot sauces out there, right? And if you're buying for someone,
That's true.
you know they like hot sauce
Right.
and beer, then here you go.
It's also one of those like you like hot sauce, but where is your heat level versus your friend's heat level? And
Oh
I'm
my
pretty
gosh.
sure mine is higher than all of my friends.
mine is lower than all my friends. That's for
Ken-
damn sure.
Ken's is 0.
I am a I have definitely grown, but I would still consider myself a bitch to even I
Ken
wouldn't
would-
even dare try like Thai food at like medium. Like
Oh, jeez.
not gonna even like try. Like I
Ken's
just
like, oh,
know.
there's pico on that. Get that out of here.
I'm not that bad, but I had a friend give me a hot sauce one time that from somebody local out of Grand Rapids that makes it. Fantastic hot sauces. They're always really good. But this particular one, I don't know if I inhaled as I went to bite it at the same time, but it hit me so hard. I think I coughed for like 30 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
And she's just sitting there eating chips with it like it's nothing.
So the hoisin sauce, which it was beer adjacent because it was fermented. It wasn't a beer specific sauce that Nick the Brewer made. Like that sauce was super good, but I don't foresee myself like buying something that's beer adjacent, like a beer infused mustard or a beer infused, or beer brats, quote, it doesn't really pique my interest, and hot sauce definitely doesn't pique my interest.
The beer mustard was one I actually bought for myself. I was at the Mustard Museum outside of Madison, Wisconsin.
As we all are.
Yeah. I was sampling the mustards there at the sampling bar, and I really liked the beer mustard. So I ended up buying that for myself.
Well, the next up on this list is a beer making kit. So this is not like a homebrew setup. This is kind of a very, very basic kit. I think you just kind of put all the ingredients in, let it ferment, and you're kind of good to go.
Like it's already got pre-made wort. That's the only thing I can
yeah.
think of what it would
Was
be.
that the Brooklyn Brew Shop?
Yeah, this is the Brooklyn Brew Shop.
So that's what I got
So
for me to try.
you basically get, for $40 to $50, you get to choose the different style of beer that you want. So a brown ale, a porter, an IPA. And it's fairly simplistic to make. There's not really too much like timing or hop timing or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure it's the kit isn't one use, meaning that you can, make stuff after the fact, but it's only 1 gallon each time. So you're not going to be making too much from these kits. I mean,
it's a
Dan,
1 gallon homebrew kit. It's
Yeah.
something that you can do right on your stovetop. If you're so challenged, there is timing and stuff with the hops, just like with any homebrewing, though.
oh, is there?
Yeah,
There's
this is
instructions that you have to follow, and if you don't follow them and like you don't shake long enough, then your yeast dies and you have to start all over again. But I
this isn't
digress.
pre-made wort. I'm looking at it right now. This is
It's
extract.
a 1 gallon homebrew kit.
Okay, so it's just a small little homebrew kit
Yeah.
compared
That's
to
what I
to
got
other...
to try. I did
All
not
right.
do good at it. I need somebody to teach me how to do it.
Just got to practice, honestly.
Rob,
Keep
do you
doing it.
homebrew at all?
I used to homebrew a lot. Yes. I haven't for a little while. My friend earlier today reached out and asked if I wanted to do an adventure tomorrow, and it might be going to the homebrew store and getting ingredients and just doing a simple homebrew adventure.
Nice.
I joined the local Ann Arbor Brewers Guild, the Home Brewers Guild over here, but I don't drink fast enough to drink my own homebrew, and it's a lot of time commitment and effort to then just kind of sit. And at some point, like it goes from sitting to now I'm giving away the bottles and trying to like get rid of it before it goes bad. And there's nothing worse than a bro saying, "Hey, here, come try my homebrew."
Yeah.
That's why
So-
you peg it.
I bottle mine, and you get 50 some bottles, like 54 or 5 bottles out of it. And
I know
will
I
drop
should.
off 24 at my friends' houses. So I just do porch drops and text them that they have beer on their porch and whisk away.
Oh, you're your
I-
very own beer fairy.
Exactly.
I love it.
I would probably do better kegging my beer now that I think about it. I might have to pick your brain later, Dan, about
Oh, it's way easier than you think.
getting to that, especially because then I don't have to Sanny 48 bottles and
Yeah,
Sanny
that's
the
the hard
whole.
part.
Yeah,
It's-
it's way easier than you're thinking.
But what about a board game? A beer-based board game?
Is this a game where everyone gets trashed?
I feel like it might. It looks like it's so. I'm loading up the game rules. It says players take turns rolling dice and moving their pieces across the board clockwise. Complete the beer challenges along the way. If your dice roll gives you too many moves to get to the finish by exact count, you cannot move and must take a drink. The
Oh, hell
game
yeah.
continues until there is one player left. Last player on the board must drink the community cup.
Oh boy, what's the community cup?
Sounds like some of the challenges might fill that up.
I'm guessing
So-
that my friends would love this.
So start to finish, as I'm reading some of the things, if you look at the corners, like in the top right, it says pour one drink into the community cup. There's another one that says guys drink, another one that says rhyme, choose a word to rhyme and say it in a sentence, take turns saying rhyming sentences quickly, first player to miss has to drink. So it almost looks like the rules of was it Trouble or Sorry? I think it's Trouble, where you have to like get it the exact amount of notches to notch in your little pegs. Yeah, I this would be a lot of fun. This would definitely be one of those big drinking games, like if there's too many people and you want to just kind of get something together where everyone's kind of like having their own conversations while shit's happening around them, so they're not paying attention, like Cards Against Humanity. That would be my thought. Have you guys ever played like a Beeropoly or any other beer related games that wasn't like a beer game? Like,
You like Flip Cup?
yeah, not like Flip Cup. Like,
So I am a board gamer. I love tabletop board games. And so I've got a beer trivia game. It's been a long time since we played it, but it's more like Trivial Pursuit than this type of game. And you are supposed to drink beer at the end. There's beer mats involved. I don't remember all the details of it. I haven't played it for a while. And then there's another one where you run a brewery, and I have played that one, and that was pretty fun. But there's one where you run a distillery. I think it's called Distill, and it's really good.
I
no
actually,
idea.
so yeah, there's Distilled, the board game. I had bought it for Julia, and Julia had bought it for me, and so it was really, really funny. We wound up selling both copies because the original Kickstarter sold out and they didn't have any. So we loaded it up and it was just like, this seems like too many rules to play a game. I mean, I understand there are places and times when I want to play games with all those kinds of rules, but a game about like making your own distillery, it wasn't really feeling it. Like I tried, Dan knows how much I love the movie Back to the Future, and I actually got Back to the Future, the board game,
Oh boy.
and it was like, this is way too many like rules and stuff. But there is a game that I will suggest to everyone to pick up if you want a good, easy party game called Heroes of Barcadia. And it's a game where your little piece on the mat, so on the playboard, is a pint glass, and your HP is the amount of beers that's in the pint glass. And it's really, really fun. It's a very, very basic roll dice to either succeed or fail. There's a little bit more intricacy to that, but it's pretty simple to play. So I do suggest Heroes of Arcadia. I think you can get up to 8 people in those games, which is a lot of fun. Here's one that I think probably a lot of us may have, which is a stainless steel koozie, a Yeti koozie. Maybe not Yeti specifically. Do you guys have a nice koozie or no?
Nope.
I do.
You don't?
No.
Why not? Do you drink your beer too fast? Is that why?
Yeah, I what do I need a koozie for? I've got the Better on Draft one from back in the day, but that's about it.
I have the tall boy koozies that I think Sellerman's made that were paper bags. They weren't actual paper bags, but the koozie
I have
looked
one
like a
from
paper
Lagunitas
bag.
like that.
So my wife was collecting koozies for a while, and specifically koozies shaped like clothing. So we have a couple cowboy boots and some Hawaiian shirts and all sorts of things like that.
I think as we scroll down, we might see, oh, this is definitely not on my list of things, a craft beer flight board. Why
not? Everyone else wants it but you. That's fine. You can be in the minority.
Why? All right, Dan, do you really want this? Are you going to make your own craft beer flights at home?
Me? I don't know. Now
You're just gonna
now.
open up a 16-ounce can and just pour 4 ounces into you have to prove a point.
It's basically a fancy charcuterie board. So yeah, we might not just add the beer to it.
I have a thing like this that holds 4 pint glasses, but it's perfect for taking 4 pint glasses out to the patio all at once. So that's what I use it for.
Oh.
It doesn't have the snack part.
I was gonna say, I mean, with the snack part too, that you're everyone's best friend if you're going in the kitchen getting beer for everyone and snacks for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
If you could pull this off and it was like 4 pint glasses, and I could go inside and like refill the chips and dip and stuff and bring it outside, and it's just one trip, so everyone can hang outside by the bonfire or whatever. Sure, but I never understood the at-home flights, like flight board. Like I don't understand. I don't like flights right now in general, but at home, like who's making a flight?
If you're doing a vertical with your friends,
yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
Pour a bunch out,
right? If your friends are over and you're having some kind of party.
All right.
But
when
I don't
was
know.
the last? When was the
specifically
last time you had a in-person flight?
Yeah,
Wendy.
An in-person flight at
like
a
an
house?
in-person vertical, yeah. Someone's house.
Vertical, no, but I have gone to tastings recently. But we haven't done any verticals. But we haven't done anything like that. At least I haven't. I want to do a total tasting at home one time. One of these days, I'm going to start doing beer classes, and I'm going to do tastings at home in my backyard, because now that we have all this awesome patio furniture. So eventually, yeah, I'll have something like that at my house.
I just don't see a use for this at home other than it being like a cool thing to talk about. Like, oh, look at this. Look what I can do. Like show off to your friends.
Right.
That's half of these things.
Well,
that's really what all this is for.
These are for the person you don't know what to buy.
Right.
Vacuum insulated stainless steel beer bottle. So this is basically just a beer bottle koozie. I'm guessing it only fits 12-ounce bottles.
Yeah. What are you using this for?
They make
price.
Cool.
The price is $30 for these.
Oh boy.
It's the only way that I could take my beer bottle out on my friend's deck for his pool.
Ooh,
that's a good use case.
He's got a couple of those.
That's a very good use case for folks, maybe as we are in Michigan, boating, where you can, where you don't want to necessarily do glass bottle, but maybe the beer you want only in glass bottle, you can put it in a container like this, where it should be, if you drop it, you should only spill as opposed to break. I mean, that might actually be a good for your boating friends, people going up to Houghton Lake and stuff. Dan obviously doesn't want it because he drinks his beer too fast.
Yeah. No need for that kind of thing.
But I'm actually looking at it right now. So it does say beer bottle, but the actual thing, the top comes off and it fits a beer can just fine as well. So it does have dual usage. The top does have a bottle opener for all you twist top users. This is actually pretty neat. This is something that I might want, especially for if it's one of those days where it's like cold or something like that outside and I'm drinking outside. This might be something easier to hold on to than the glass bottle itself. So I'm into it. All right. I think a few of us have already had one of these, a state map of craft beer caps. I had one for Michigan. I sold mine. I just have if you can see above my left shoulder, the shadow box on my refrigerator that has all of my caps in it, probably for the last 7 or 8 years, I think. It's about full too, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it afterwards. They never tell you that part.
I have somebody you can give it to if you need to.
Do you just like dump
Throw
all
my
the
beer
caps and
cap
start
full.
over again?
Start all over.
My friend makes jewelry with beer caps, so she gets
Okay.
all the caps.
I can definitely do some donations to your friend. But is this something that you want? Something that do you have state pride enough to make a beer cap state map?
So I don't get that many
Yes.
beer caps anymore either.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do.
There is Indiana. There is it says 48 options, so I'm guessing Hawaii might not be an option.
Probably Alaska and Hawaii.
No, Alaska's got an option. That's for sure.
Maybe Colorado and Wyoming, they just use the same one.
Colorado, that would be really funny. Well, so Colorado actually says like Colorado on it
That's
in
so you
the
can tell
cap. So
apart.
that's exactly it. Because
Does it-
Wyoming says Wyoming on it too.
Are they front and back, maybe?
I don't think so, but
Just hang it from the ceiling. Good chandelier.
not enough breweries have bottles anymore, says Bats McGee in our twitch.tv/Better on Draft. Yeah, I think a lot of breweries are going to cans.
Yeah.
I think it's passing us by for sure, unless you want to fill it up with you can't get your 40 ounces of King Cobra in these cap stands. So
It
So
doesn't
one
fit.
of the things that I put in the beer basket that we donated to the Senate Scholarship fundraisers were coasters that you could actually put beer caps in like that.
I think even looking at the beer cap that I just took off of the massacre that I had, like it's kind of worthless now. It doesn't fit, like because it's bent so much.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
do
that's
have,
a good point.
I do have a United States one that I'm looking at over my shoulder. It's full. I filled it. I finished filling it about a month or two ago, but that's because I was going for unique caps. So it's full of all unique caps, which I don't know. I was pretty happy with, but it took me a couple of years to do that.
I'm gonna be honest though, like when you're going with the Michigan beer, there's every 6 months or so on social media, Reddit, DACB, etc. People are always looking for these very specific beer caps because you can only do so much. Now, when you're dealing with something like Bell's has like a different beer cap for a lot of their different beers, so you can get the bird for the Bell's Amber. But yeah, as a lot of brewers are going to cans, especially here in Michigan, like it's just going to be forever to find. But beer books. Have you guys ever read any beer books?
Can't say
I've
I
got
have.
a whole stack of them right next to me.
But have you read them?
Yes. Yeah, I read all of them.
I've got through our journeys here at Better on Draft, a how to brew, Wild Brews, the Dogfish Head book, the World Atlas. So I've definitely got a few different books behind me on my bookshelf. This is the Atlas of Beer. I think this is more of a coffee table book. Do coffee table books still exist anymore in like 2023?
Yes.
Pretty sure they
Got
do.
to, right?
Like
Yeah.
I know they exist, but how often are you having people over to, to have
People who
coffee
like
or tea?
Coffee table books don't have them on the table for their guests.
Yeah.
This is a must-have item from National Geographic's Atlas of Beer. Is a treasure trove of information about the history, geographic origins of every style of beer on the planet. Plus, it has colorful illustrations and a vintage-style cover that makes it a cool conversation piece to display when company comes for a cold one.
I want to say I have that someplace.
So this is by Nancy Holist Pullen and Mark W. Patterson. I definitely have one right behind me that's not by them, and I couldn't tell you who or what it is, but I know it exists.
I have a beer and food pairing book from Brooklyn. The head brewer at Brooklyn, whenever he wrote it, at least I don't know if he still is or what, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed that book. Yeah.
That's the one thing that hurts with such a ever-moving industry. There was a book I saw in the UP. I believe I was at Tequanamon Falls Brewery, and it was a book about Michigan beer, and they were talking about breweries like the Tuba museum that used to have a brewery inside of it, and Etouffee and Arcadia, like all these breweries that are since long gone. And I'm like, wow, this is such an outdated book. And I look at the book, it only says like 2014.
So there was a brewery and a tuba factory?
Oh yeah, you didn't know about that here in Michigan?
Yeah.
Not a tuba factory, the Tuba Museum.
Oh, that's even better that there's a museum.
There's a brewery near the Mustard Museum, but it's not in it.
Yeah, it was in Okemos. It was called the Travelers Club International Restaurant and Tuba Museum.
That's amazing.
But yeah, like all these breweries that don't exist anymore. And then, of course, obviously the missing all the breweries that have opened since, when we started the show in 2015, it was not that many breweries compared to what it is now.
You've got one in a knitting factory right near you, the Rochester Mills.
The brew pub?
Yeah, that used to be a knitting factory.
Oh, I learned something today.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I haven't been to the brew pub in probably a decade or so. We did go once for Oktoberfest. Me, Matt Bush. I think Dan was there too. I think there. y'all were making fun of me for wearing my Miami garb.
Yep.
Go Canes. Beer chiller sticks for bottles. So these are basically just like whiskey rocks. They basically go into a bottle of beer and it will chill your beer in seconds. I have these actually.
Do they work?
They've never worked well. I put it into the beer and then like the beer foams up and foams over. So I don't know if I'm not using it right or anything like that.
Just put it in cold beer and it keeps it cold.
Is that supposed to make it cold?
Pop them directly into any bottle of room temperature beer to chill your beverage in mere seconds.
Yeah, just waste your beer, basically. It's a gimmick to make money in it.
I mean, this is probably something that was either gifted to me or one of our guests gave it to us. But
I only ever run into that problem when I'm in a hotel, and then I just fill an ice bucket and put some water in it and stick the thing in there, and it'll be chilled pretty quickly.
It takes minutes. Yeah, it's fast.
I just put mine in the freezer.
But this takes seconds. Beer related t-shirts. God damn, how many beer related outfits do we have? I
like that MI beer box.
Oh my! First of all, the Michigan Beer Box hoodie is the greatest thing ever.
I agree. I absolutely agree with that.
Matt,
shout out to
watching, I never got mine.
I
think he
he
still
already
has them.
he messaged me today looking for jockey boxes for his wedding, so I will ping him. I got a Hawaiian shirt from BJ's.
Yeah, they sent
We
us
got
all
that.
that.
Oh, they okay. So we all got Hawaiian shirts. Sorry, Rob. This was
That's right.
before you. I've got so many shirts, so many like beer related swag that it's too much. And I think that's more because of the business that I'm in here as craft beer media. But would you like, where are you going to wear these beer shirts? That's not like a beer fest.
I had to stop wearing
time.
them to my kids' functions, but now my kids are older, so I can do it again.
So I've got shirts from Black Sky and True in Denver. People don't even know those are beer shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean this is a very specific like Optimist. Like it's a very, very let me see if I can actually change the screen here. I can just go like this and try it again. There you go. So like these are all the different shirts that come up when you search like Optimist, and it's like beer facts, hops, the soul of beer. Beer is not
Nobody's
the
wearing
answer. I mean, there's these are definitely shirts that probably get bought for a lot of people who are craft beer fans that you can't buy for, like you don't know what to buy them.
Yes.
But
Yeah, but I'm a
when
shirt
you
they
go
won't wear.
when you go to a beer fest, though, this shirt is like huge at beer fests.
Is it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like the Optimist or
Of course
like
it
the
is.
anatomy
99
of a hop.
99% of what I own is beer related clothing. I actually just got a really nice hat and a shirt in the mail that I ordered like a year ago and forgot about it. I'm not sure what happened. All of a sudden it showed up in the mail yesterday. I was like, bonus.
Nice.
But
I'm-
it's either that or DCFC. So that's pretty much what I'm wearing every day.
I'm wearing a New Glarus shirt right now.
I'm wearing a monocolored t-shirt because that's the kind of person I've turned into. Is I have my graphic tees for like everyday wear when I'm not like working or coaching or anything like that. So I have the monocolor shirts for like coaching and work and stuff, and then I have like graphic tees for everything else. Like I'm not spending money on clothing that like I get my graphic tees for like $5. Like, oh, here's a sale, buy it. This is another book, The Beer Bible. We can skip right over it. Here's the beer.
I had that. I had that.
We talked for like 3 minutes about craft beer books. What's
I think we're talking about the beer mitt.
The
Yeah,
beer
we're
mitt.
laughing at the beer
oh
mitt.
the beer mitt. Oh, sorry, you're laughing. I thought you were laughing at me just like going right past the book.
No, laughing
No,
at this.
I
The
had
beer
that.
mitts.
I had that. I will
Wendy,
say.
if you don't start using that every show, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh my God. So I can't use it because here's what happened. I went to Winter Beer Fest. I got it as a Secret Pal gift from my JC Secret Pal. And I took it to Winter Beer Fest because it's fucking cold. And it was the year that they had the 50 Shades of Dragon's Milk. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, what happened?
I lost the beer mitt.
How'd you lose it?
I lost the people that I was with, and then
But it stays on your hand.
no, it did not. After 50 Shades of Dragon's Milk.
All right, I need a timeout because I need you guys to look at the screen, folks. If you're not watching, go check out the video, youtube.com. Tell me this is not photoshopped.
Oh, 100%. Look at the
Oh, it's
arm.
definitely photoshopped.
Look at
Yeah.
some of these photos. Like, it is so ridiculously photoshopped.
But it does work.
Maybe
All
she's
right.
got a prosthetic arm that it's
It's-
just with no hand. It's just the stump.
It is.
The fingers
it is-
aren't around the beer.
Yeah.
It's Wendy approved it.
I've considered buying it
Okay.
again.
Oh, I'm
but-
ready for this next one. All
But
right.
It looks
I have
suggestive.
not been back to Winter Beer Fest in a few years, and now I'm old and don't like the cold, so I don't
Mm.
see it happening.
All right. So I'm gonna preface this next one by saying that I actually owned this at one point.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This was gifted to me by someone who apparently could not figure out something to buy for me. And this is the leather beer holster
That's absolutely amazing. Does
that
it
you
come with an
attach to your
inside-
belt.
Come with an inside the waistband version for the secret beer. That you're
It
carrying?
it does not.
That would be awesome.
This was a choice somebody gave me, that's for sure.
And you need to start wearing this everywhere you go.
I will
have
be
it.
very disappointed if you're not wearing it the next time I
Yep.
see you.
Yeah.
This has been re-gifted, to say the least.
Could you
Wow,
actually walk
disappointing.
while it's in use?
So it is good for the next beer. It is not good for
Okay.
the current beer.
Not for the open beer.
It is not good for an open beer, no.
Yeah,
but
just
for the
see
next
wet legs.
for the next beer, it definitely it worked. It did what it did. But for me, like I'm the kind of person where I can hold 2 or 3 bottles of beer and function as an adult and not have any issues. So I don't need a 4th beer on my
Don't
On
need a
my-
holster.
holster.
Need one
I
for
s-
each side.
I see in the description the problem is you have to stroll through the barbecue like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, or Joan Crawford.
Or Joan Crawford.
Right. So you were probably walking wrong.
I love
Uh,
it that they had to tell us what movie she was in so that we could figure it out.
she was
You have to
Johnny
explain
Guitar.
the
Look
joke.
it up. It doesn't work. You think the holster is cool? Search beer suspenders. That is from
boy.
Luckbone in the chat. We'll
Oh,
get
boy.
there before the hour ends. It looks like this might be the entire show today. Wall pong. You know what? I don't hate it.
You hang this on the wall and
It's
just
for a New York apartment.
yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a 6-cup setup. You basically just hang it on the wall. It is $60. Which
For a
I mean,
Triangle shaped piece of wood.
I mean, Dan, you can go in there
and 6 cup holders.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, the cup holders.
I'm sure the red plastic cups don't come with it. You have to buy the solo cups on your own.
simply secure them to the wall with adhesive tabs, attach metal brackets, fill the cups and go. I mean, this is one of the things where you know how we have those like very artsy places here in Michigan, like the Rustic Belt, and there's a place in Detroit where they allow you to do like your own like wall art and stuff. Like this would be great for them to be like, hey, we can show you how to produce this real quick, and you can produce it here and drink while you do it. At $60, that's oof. The price is just enough or not bad enough to where I probably would still buy it. What do we got? We got a IPA.
$60 though, I could get my own folding table. To
I
put a
think-
full game on.
I think the point's not to have the table be the center of attention, like to not have all that space in there. That's my guess. I mean, I used to bring a beer pong table with me to parties and shit. Like I made a nice foldable table that fit. It was we put together 2 2 by 4 2 foot by 4 foot pieces of board. We put clamps in the middle so it could fold up. We put handles on the side so you could carry them. We were very serious back in like the early 2000s of our beer pong.
I was
Dan
always
and
a
Dan and I went to a beer pong tournament in Vegas and proceeded to get our asses handed to us. I had never been so terrible at beer pong until I played against people who play it a lot more than I did.
And the worst part is when that guy beat you, instead of having you drink the beer, he just took it and drank it himself.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you
oh.
fucking.
Yeah. Like, oh,
I think Blondie still does that once a week. Too,
Oh, yeah.
beer pong tournament.
they do.
We talked about it earlier, like the beer related food, beer related beer soap, IPA candle. We actually had a candle
had 'em on.
company.
Early days.
Oh yeah, the early days. I, on the other hand, like I'm not a big candle kind of person. You can all fucking laugh at me all you want, and I'll admit it fully. I'm an essential oils guy. I got my little diffuser over there. Love
Yeah,
the
and then
great
those
smell.
they lose the scent in like 3 seconds.
I definitely make sure to put a lot in there, probably more than I should. But yeah, I'm not too big into candles or beer soap. What about Wendy, Rob?
I'm pretty sure I have some beer soap around that has been gifted to me over the years. That I'm not. It's one of those things you're not going to use. You don't want your hands to smell like. Well, maybe you do, but you probably don't want your hands to smell like beer.
Not if you're leaving the house.
I mean, if you can get, I feel like you're gonna get more the piney smell as opposed to more the like
Yes.
Labatt blue smell.
But if you go to any brewery that has a gift shop, they will have their beer in soap form and candle form.
Oh, what's
I have
this?
gifted beer soap on occasion or two.
I'm
I don't
trying to
burn
think-
candles. I'm also an essential oils girl.
Dan, did Shiner have anything like this when we were at their beer store? I don't remember anything like
I don't
that.
remember anything like that either. And I'm kind of surprised if they didn't. Maybe we just missed it, but you would think they do.
Yes.
If you do get a chance, go over to the Shiner Brewery. When you do go there, make sure to obviously eat there. Great food, great tour, great beer, and of course the little gift shop was crazy.
Oh yeah.
Me, myself, Dan, and our friend Brian, who went over there, we were just looking at everything, and we were probably in there for a good 30, 45 minutes trying to figure out what we wanted to buy. It was a lot of great stuff. The last thing before I go and do what Mr. Mutbone said and look at beer suspenders, but a 24 can backpack.
This is amazing.
This is an Igloo, so it's obviously a brand named backpack. I'm guessing it's just a backpack with insulation. Holy shit, it's only $70.
If it holds them separate, you got to keep them separated. Then I would be into it.
I'm guessing it holds 24 cans like filled to the brim. I'm looking at it right now. From Igloo, it's a true backpack. It's got nice little straps. Heat sealed insulated liner, double zip lid. For only $70, that's actually not a bad price. That might be a gift you might be wanting to look at for your friend that is hard to buy for right now. Is this something you guys would?
Looks like Kroger sells it.
Kroger sells it.
Kroger sells the Igloo backpack.
Hell yeah.
All right. So before we end the episode, as we've been talking about all these gifts, obviously, for those who are buying for their friends who are beer, related people, be mindful. Ask them. Probably the easiest. But I did find the beer suspenders, and folks, betterondraft.com/YouTube or YouTube/betterondraft, Twitch/betterondraft. This is, here it is, your beer suspenders.
Oh boy. Oh, this is amazing. Kat, I found what I'm getting you for your wedding.
I don't know. Obviously, you need to get his and hers. I mean, that'd be very rude to not buy
Oh, that's fair.
a pair. This is the beer suspenders. It looks like it holds 2 cans. It's got its own bottle opener.
Oh,
I don't know what the koozie is. There's a little cigar stick. You can house your cigar up there along with the beers. Oh man, you think I could pull this off for the wedding, Dan?
Probably.
Have this under everyone's. Jocelyn in our Facebook page is saying, "Are they insulated?" Jocelyn, I have no idea. We just learned about beer suspenders 3 seconds ago. It looks like they're insulated based on this graphic.
Is that a koozie?
It's the koozie. So yeah, there's a koozie up here. You can stack up your beer.
You're going to be the most popular person to stand next to.
Here's the little things you can put in there for this. Oh my, they're called muff waiters.
Okay.
Muff spenders.
Wendy's sending an email right now. Oh, who muted Wendy? Come on.
Wendy, you're muted.
As a girl, look at where I don't care about the name. I think that's funny actually. But look at where the beer holders are placed. No girl could ever wear that. Even a smaller girl couldn't wear it because it'd be pouring the beer out.
I'm not sure I could.
I was gonna say that for $65, we might have to figure this out. I don't know if this is what Muttbone, I believe that's Tito in the chat. Tito had in mind. Yeah, for what we were looking for. He might have had different beer suspenders. Folks.
I actually have friends that I want to buy this for though.
We hope you have maybe found the product that you were looking for your craft beer friend, family member, significant other, etc. I definitely think we had some winners like the cooler high top for the patio, the 24 can backpack, even the beer mitt that Wendy somehow lost. Beer suspenders though might be the cake, to say the least. That is going to do it. Episode 334. We're going to be back from our live show. Of course, we're live Friday, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, to go over the craft beer news. So stay tuned. We'll be back at about 8:20 p.m. Eastern. No matter what you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft. Have a good night.
Cheers.
For the city, trouble in my mind. I'm way too young and pretty for things to be unkind. Time is all we have now, so let's make something while we can. I'm headed for the city, make me start again. Conversation now and then. Gotta go, gotta get it. Don't make things go south, baby. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. I'm headed for the city. See what I can unwind. Always gotta start it to dictate, make it in this life. Time is all we have now, so let's make something while we can. I'm headed for the city to make me start again. Conversation now and then. Gotta go, gotta get it. Don't make things go south, baby. say you get too woken. They just can't find a little soul. Light up a cig and let's get talking. Talking that rock and roll is more than just a style to play. You can get you what you need, just let it take you away. If you're ever feeling down, forget about the bullshit, dance your worries away. People say you get too woken. They just can't find a little soul. Light up the cig and let's get talking. Talking that rock and roll. Sit right back, relax and chill. Let me lead you on your trip, see how that rhythm feels. Don't let troubles cloud your mind. It's only in your head, you are so mighty fine.
Whether your beer is in a bottle, can, or glass, kick back and relax. It's Better on Draft.
There we go. Welcome, everybody. It is the Craft Beer News segment for December 8th, 2023. My name is Ken. Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate it. Fridays, 7:15 p.m. Eastern, we record every single Friday night. Join us on Twitch Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live. Join us in the chat, as many people were for our first segment talking about craft beer gifts to give, including, of course, on our YouTube page, Wafo, on our Twitch page, Bats McGee and Muttbone, and of course on our Facebook page, Jocelyn. Thank you all for participating. We are back with the Craft Beer News. But first, what are we all drinking? Starting with Rob. Rob, what you got?
Now I have a Madtown Nut Brown, which is Advent Day 3. I'm
Catching up.
Wendy?
Well, I finished my Kunin's White Devil, since I just saw Beverly Kunin hop on the chat. And I'm finishing up another can of the Drafting Table Buzz Blanket.
Daniel?
Still working on that White Russian. In addition, I've got a bacon and eggs from Pete's.
For myself, I did not get anything else specific. I just finished the Wolverine Massacre, and I am now on to the Rochester Mills Milkshake Stout. Officially, if you guys did not know, not that they sponsor us, but as a friendly gift to them, they are doing the 12 Days of Milkshake Stout at the Brew Pub. So different than the actual brewery and production facility. They're not going to be able to hand out 12-day 12 packs, but they are still doing 12 Days of Milkshake Stout for you to be able to drink at the Brew Pub. So go check it out. Of course, you can always check out, say, our sponsor, that is North Center Brewing over in Northville, Michigan. plenty of great beer over there. We talked about games you might play, like a wall beer pong as opposed to a long beer pong. They have that long shuffleboard that you can go play. Kevin's actually really good at it. If you challenge him and beat him, he tells me he'll give you a free beer, but then he'll also tell me that that's a lie. So no
So-
promises.
Do they do a 12 days of nice bloobs?
They do not. Nice Bloobs is their holiday beer, though. So I know it has been released as of recent. I've been waiting to get a keg of Bobby English from them, which is what I want. So here's to hopefully Kevin hearing this and not giving, but getting a keg of that beer to me. With that, it is the craft beer news segment, and we are going to start with Rob. Rob, what did you want to talk about today?
Well, today I found an article about weird shit in beer because everybody does it, and this one is red cabbage and peas and green peas, and it's apparently a traditional Christmas dinner in Iceland. So it's being done in an Icelandish brewery. Red cabbage and peas. They say it goes in smelling like vegetables and it comes out tasting pretty good. But it leads me to the question, what traditional Christmas food would you want or not want in your beer from your local brewery?
Ooh.
I mean, so for me, the only thing I could think of is either like we do a cucumbers and cream type of dish, Polish dish. So maybe something like maybe dill with some type of, I don't know if you could.
Now
figure
there
out
are
what to do.
definitely pickle and dill beers out there.
For sure. That's why like a cucumbers and cream, or the only other thing like is the sweets, which is a krishtiki, which is basically powdered sugar over a deep fried piece of bread. So I mean, like a powdered sugar beer, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can get powdered sugar as a flavor of beer.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work. That's interesting though.
Those are really the only two things that kind of come to mind. That's a Christmas food that I would want. I'm not a big like sweet eater. I do like sweet in my beer, but like sweet eater, I'm not a big pie guy. Like I like pumpkin pie and I don't want whipped cream on it. Just give me the regular ass pumpkin pie. I'm boring like that. So, I mean, those are my thoughts. I don't know if you guys have maybe other family traditions that you can.
So
lean on.
before
ahead,
I
Wendy.
moved in with Graham, I lived with this guy named Adam for a lot of years. One of my best friends, awesome guy, amazing baker. And he makes Yule logs every year for Christmas. I would totally love a Yule log pastry stout. That would be amazing.
Wait, you mean like the thing you put in the fireplace?
No, a Yule log is it's a chocolate cake type thing, and it has
Oh,
these
okay.
creams, and then you roll it up, and when you cut it, it's supposed to look like a log because it's covered in a chocolate ganache, but it's
It's a
fucking
sponge
delicious.
cake filled with mascarpone, whipped cream, covered with whipped chocolate ganache.
It's so
Okay.
good. I would love a Yule log pastry stout.
Now I've got a weird Christmas tradition. On Christmas Day for this will be year number 7. I make carnitas. Being in the Southwest is just kind of a thing, but that already kind of falls into that Scrapple territory for that Scrapple beer. So don't want to do that. So Ken, I'm going to go to the Christmas Eve tradition. Also being of Polish descent. How about a kielbasa stout?
I was curious because growing up, we were Roman Catholic growing up, and with the Polish tradition, we actually celebrated a meatless Christmas Eve.
Did you
Um,
really?
So we either, depending on the year, depending on the family, most of the time it was just a Christmas Eve that was meatless. But there are times where you would go to midnight mass and then you would eat after midnight mass because that's technically Christmas Day. So you would celebrate meatless Christmas Eve by eating meat on Christmas Day. I don't know where it came from. I'm fairly certain it is a Polish Roman Catholic tradition. As it came from my grandmother, we do not celebrate that anymore. As
Now,
the
did you do? I can't think of the name of it. Where you get the square, the stuff they use for communion. Did you do that on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of it, where you'd get like
I
a
can't
square
either.
and you were supposed to like break
Break
off
it.
a little bit for blessing, or I'm trying to remember the name of it and I can't think of it either. But yes, we did.
We could throw those into a beer, but they don't taste like anything. So it might not work as
No.
I think there was a communion wafer beer sometime back. Yeah.
good. Was there really?
Yeah. Because everybody has put weird shit into beer at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Pierogies factor heavily into my Christmas tradition around here. For a while, we were making them ourselves, and then eating them Christmas Eve. But we have not made them for a little while.
Just buy them, or do you?
Yeah,
move
just
away
buy
from
them. Exactly. Just
whatever.
buy them, fry up some onions and some bacon, and you're
Yeah.
all set.
I'm looking at it, and there's definitely a lot of different names to it based on Polish, Lithuanian, Slovak, but it's basically just like a Christmas wafer. That's the name of it. I could not tell you what we called it at.
There's
Our-
some Polish name for
Oh,
it.
for sure,
I just
for
can't
sure.
think of what it is.
And I see the Polish name, and there's no way I would know how to pronounce it off the top of my head. And looking at it, like when I see words like punchki or guamki or something like that, I recognize the word. But like this word right here, it's Oplatek, and I'm like, I have no idea how the hell that was actually pronounced.
No clue.
And if we had an Americanized version of even that. So Dan wants some type of meat-based stout. Wendy's saying no.
No kielbasa.
Meat
Smoked
does not
kielbasa.
belong in beer. It's the one time I would say bacon does not make things better. It's
I've
the
only had a
time
couple of
make it
bacon
better.
beers, and they've been okay. Rogue made a good
No.
one.
It's more the bacon smoky flavor than it is bacon.
Yeah.
I don't think the fat does so good in the beer.
Remember
For
when
the bacon.
everyone was like obsessed with bacon for a few years, and they made that bacon vodka, like Bacon or whatever.
You can still get
Disgusting.
bacon. Yeah, that's good for Bloody Marys. You can still
Oh.
get that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Nope, not for me.
No? Are you a
No.
Bloody Mary guy or no?
No, I'm not a Bloody
Okay.
Mary guy either.
Rob, what about you? Bloody Mary guy?
Not particularly. No, it's the
Wow.
tomatoes. I don't like tomato juice. I love tomatoes.
Fair.
I just want vodka.
I will do a Caesar when I'm in Canada sometimes.
So I try to stay away from flavored vodka because whatever they use to flavor it, I don't know how they do it, but that sticks with me till like well into the next day, even if I only had one or two. Like I love a spicy vodka. It's like I shouldn't have drank that. I don't know if it's the oil or whatever they do to flavor it, but mix it into a bloody, yeah, I'm in.
You know what I really like in Bloody Mary is Aquavit.
We did that. I remember when he was on the
It's
show, the
so
Aquavit guy. Yeah, I still need to try that. I still have some in the cupboard.
I've
Yeah, you
replaced
can-
my bottle plenty.
You can actually get, I don't know if you can get Norden over in Arizona, but most Total Wines in their aperitif section, cordial section, will have at least a couple of aquavits. Every time I've gone to one across the US, there's definitely been one. Dan, what do you want to talk about today?
All right. So I want to hear the opinions on this. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Yes, this article came out yesterday, but our good friends over at White Claw are planning on putting out a 0% seltzer. This is to target the Gen Z and millennial people out there, generations. There are 4 flavors. They are putting out black cherry cranberry, mango passion fruit, peach orange blossom, and lime yuzu. So this is my opinion. I want to hear yours. We have officially jumped the seltzer shark. If I want a non-alcoholic seltzer, there's a great brand out there called LaCroix. They have tons of flavors, and they also make a non-flavored one. So, what's everyone's opinion? Ken, you know I come to you first. Have we jumped the shark on White Claw seltzer?
So I thought we jumped the shark when White Claw came out with the flavorless alcoholic
See, I would do that.
seltzer.
I'm down with that. I'll take an alcoholic non-flavored one because sparkling water is probably what I drink more than anything. So that's great. And I remember this came out a while ago. There was another brand that put those out.
I
too, but-
feel like that was a Matt Bush commentary that we had one time.
yeah, he went off about he loved it too.
That flavorless seltzer seems like it would be a good mixer if you
For
know you
vodka.
didn't. Yeah, exactly. So if you didn't have enough alcohol because the seltzer was watering it down, well,
Well,
here's the-
I'll mix flavored like a White Claw with a shot of vodka. It's kind of good.
Here's the thing, what's the price point that is going to be for these? Because I just can't imagine why you would want to buy
if the
one of
LaCroix
these.
was too inexpensive for you before, then now you have an option.
It does not say in the article the price point. But yeah, I can't imagine a reason to buy one of these. What about you, Rob?
No, I with you. I think it's well, it might be the new cycle of the way to it's a new version of stuff like shrinkflation and things where they repackage the same products but find a way to charge us more for them. So maybe that's what we're getting to next.
And it mentions in here, they mention they're trying to compete with things like hop water, hop tea, and athletic brewing. Okay, I guess LaCroix is in the same competition.
Yeah, but there's hop water at least gives you flavor, like
Yeah,
hop water, hop tea. NA beer is NA beer. This is just seltzer
Flavored
water.
Seltzer.
yeah, like the Lagunitas hop water, the seltzer. Those are great. They're especially if you want to have something that tastes like alcohol but isn't. And then what about you, Wendy? Are you buying these because you like to try everything?
No,
So are you picked?
no, I'm not
You're
buying
not-
those. That's while you were reading the story, I was thinking, isn't that LaCroix?
Yeah.
So when you said it, I was like, yeah.
Wasn't there a New York seltzer came in a little glass bottle, something like that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Those were
about
awesome
those.
back in the
Yeah.
day.
That's these.
They had lots of flavors. That's these though.
Yes. Oh, that raspberry. That's the only time I've ever liked raspberry in a drink like that.
The New York seltzer.
Was
I
the New
forgot
York
all about
seltzer.
those. Are those still a thing?
I don't know what those are.
It was right around the time Clearly Canadian was really popular.
New York Seltzer went out of business in 1994.
dang.
Yeah, right.
Showing our age here.
Yeah, no
This is
kidding.
coming in even in
No.
cases like a beer, like their beer. It's amazing.
I was drinking them in high school, so
I am happy to see these labels again. I hadn't seen those in a while.
Me neither. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, oh,
So
I
maybe
remember
this is
these.
them coming back. They're just just White Claw.
Apparently, you can get them on Amazon right now. The original New York Seltzer variety pack.
How old are those? Oh my
I was
god!
gonna say
94.
they
it
stopped
says.
making them in '94.
So I think the original company discontinued, but these are like a brand new company. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's on Amazon though. Like
Oh yeah,
But they're
it-
calling it the original New York Seltzer.
that's
it's-
that's them bringing it back.
it's
Yeah.
on
It is,
Walmart
it does, they
too.
bring it back.
Congratulations,
helping them here.
guys! You can go relive your 20s.
It's in
Yeah.
Kroger.
I wish it was my 20s. It was black cherry. It wasn't the raspberry. I like the black
Holy
cherry.
crap! They're so expensive on Amazon. Who's spending $42 for a pack of 12?
Well,
they
you
were
can probably
like
get the
$2 a
same
bottle
price
in the
for.
90s.
It's probably the same price for White Claw. Like
Yeah, I'll just buy LaCroix. Thanks. They have like 19 flavors.
Bone saying clearly Canadian was the best.
The 12 pack through the website itself, it looks like it's $18.
Oh,
it's out
this
of
is just
stock.
someone trying to rip you off.
Yeah. It's out of stock, so they, snatched them all up so they could check up the price.
You can get a 4-pack of Clearly Canadian for $20.
What about Bartles and James? Can we still get Bartles and James?
I don't know.
Wine cooler's still a thing.
That is true. They are still a thing.
I think my dad still has some in the garage from my graduation.
Bartles and
You
James
just did
cans of
shots
stuff
of
now.
Boone's Farm at a party the
Some
other day.
Why are you doing shots of Boone's Farm?
I don't know. People are weird, Dan.
Do you want to
People are
drink more of
weird.
it than that?
Well, okay, yeah. I don't want to drink any Boone's Farm.
No,
I'm not 17.
I'm still a fan of. I'm still a fan of Strawberry Hill.
Well, Wendy, what's on your chat for today?
Oh, so I found that Brewbound released their 2023 award winners for their Up and Rising Stars. So I thought we'd go over those and what they had to say. Large Brewery of the Year was Athletic Brewing Company. Pretty sure that's not surprising to anybody. Beyond Beer Company of the Year was the Beatbox Beverages. I have no idea what that is. Has anybody heard of them?
I think they sell wines. I'm pretty sure I've seen these before.
Founded in 2013 by 3 people. Party Punch maker Beatbox Beverages is just beginning to hit its stride. The Austin, Texas-based company posted triple-digit off-premise growth this year, coming on the heels of more than doubling its sales from 800,000 cases shipped to more than 2 million in 2022. Gained national placements in 7-Eleven. And launched a partnership with Dan's favorite pop artist, Avril Lavigne.
Oh, yeah. She's not
Those
bad.
efforts have Beatbox poised to sell just under 140,000 barrels of product by year's end.
It looks like they make wine-based and malt-based
Wait,
versions. of
Dan,
stuff.
you don't like Avril Lavigne?
No, I said she's not bad.
Oh,
Yeah, Dan was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy."
Look, I'm going to show you guys. I wish I
then
could
she
show
really-
this.
she didn't say that.
Ken,
It's
Ken,
still in
maybe
the
you can.
stream.
Ken, maybe you can show this on the stream. If this isn't elder abuse, I just shared it with you guys privately. I don't know what is. Picture taken directly from their website.
From their website. Okay, so you're not following too much crazy. I can
No,
I can share this real quick.
directly from their website.
Once hold on. I'm still learning this brand. Like I want
Sorry, I
to
put you on
share.
the spot too. I just
Yeah.
I
see
know,
this.
I know.
But it's like,
It's
oh,
okay.
God.
There we go.
This isn't elder abuse. I don't know what we're doing.
Is she rocking it?
Yeah.
She loving this hoodie like we love the Michigan Beer Box hoodie.
Dude, that's probably their grandma.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I have an
It
awesome
might-
picture of my grandma in a loaded dice hat.
Okay,
Nice.
that's fair. That might be. I'm just like, oh man, what are they doing?
My grandma's always willing to support me and my friends. The beer champions of the year were the National Black Brewers Association's founding members. They actually, yesterday they announced the National Black Brewers Association announced Molson Coors as one of their new partners too. So I thought that was kind of cool. The person of the year is Garrett Marrero from Maui Brewing, the founder and CEO. And the Brewbound Rising Stars are Alvarado Street Brewing in Monterey, California, Big Grove Brewing from Iowa City, Iowa. How did I not make it there? Crowns-
Iowa City. What were you doing
I
in
was
Iowa,
in Iowa
City?
City.
And you missed
When
it?
I went to Toppling and Goliath, I actually went back over to Iowa City and hit some breweries while I was there.
Apparently there was no Iowa beer map
Maybe I
app.
did go there. But, wow. But I mean, because if you're in Iowa, you got to go to more than one beer town.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if I'm in Iowa. I'm trying to get out as quickly as possible. But that's
There's no
just
quick
me.
way out.
There is no
No.
quick way out of Iowa, and
Even
every
the-
turn's gonna have
even-
like every street's gonna have like 4 or 5 twists.
Like even Omaha's airport in Iowa, you can't escape. It's like you're trapped. It's like Escape from Iowa, just kind of like the movie Escape from New York. You're just kind of stuck there.
The stakes are higher though.
Yeah.
It was a 3.5 hour drive from where I was at in Indiana, Illinois to get to
To Iowa
Decorah.
City.
It would have taken me 45 minutes if I hadn't had to go on all the twists and turns on the roads.
Right.
Welcome to Arizona.
Um,
Shit.
Crowns and Hops Brewing Company in Inglewood, California. Doka Beer in Oakland, California. I'm pretty sure I probably just massacred that name. Stateside Vodka in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Torch and Crown Brewing Company in New York City. And Trace Brewing in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Have you guys been to any of those?
Nope.
Nope.
No, I've heard of Alvarado Street. I think.
I
At
think
least
I
it
have
sounds
too.
familiar.
Yeah, Alvarado Street, I believe they had a very big I believe they're a Hispanic owned brewery, if I'm not mistaken, or I might be thinking of a brewery in Colorado because this is in California. Nope, I think I'm on the wrong one. Go on.
Okay. I was just near Oakland, but I didn't
I'm
know that
sorry.
this
What
is-
were you?
I would.
You survived. So
I survived, yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I was working in San Jose.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, flying through San Francisco. All of that's nearish Oakland.
So you
I
did
was
go
thinking
into-
of so
worried.
I want to make sure I get this corrected. I was thinking of Atrevida in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
That's where I just got those shirts from.
I was like, Alvarado, I think that's it, but it's Atrevida.
Nope, different one. So I am mistaken. I just looked it up and I recognized the patio from the Iowa City Big Grove Brewing Company. Their facility is flipping amazing. And it was probably, I mean, I was wearing a winter coat and I still wanted to go sit on the patio. It was so cool. Like, if you get a chance to go and visit this brewery, do it because it's fucking cool as hell. I haven't gotten to go to any of the other ones. What are some of the rising stars that you guys can think of?
Rising stars. Oh, geez. I think you kind of put us on the spot here.
Yeah.
I did.
Uh,
I did that for a reason.
I mean, is Ogma still considered a rising star? Like they're really fucking good at what they do over there in Jackson.
Yes, they are.
I'm trying to think of where I've been like super impressed with like beer or the brewery or the brewer. I hate to not hate to say it. I think that there is an underrated brewery, and I think Artisan Reserve is a superior underrated brewery over in Romulus, Michigan. That is just a brewery that had bad luck trying to open during the pandemic. A lot of bad stuff happened, but that dude makes very clean beer. Every time I've been in there, great beer. I'm trying to think of what else would be like new hotness here in Michigan, but I can't really think of too much that isn't that's new. What's new in Michigan? I should know this.
So,
I run the map.
I've got
app.
one.
Go on.
I've got one that you might agree with. I think you've been there, Ken. Hopside out of Alpena, especially with them adding the distillery.
I have not drank out there. I only stopped by there to drop off a window decal.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're from the start really clean beer, really good beer. There was one that they kind of overshot with. They put too much in. They were trying to do like a Butterfinger stout, but it was still good. It was just really cloudy. That was the one thing. But especially with them adding a distillery on top of it, I think they're a really underrated brewery simply because of where they're located. And you could kind of clump Austin Brothers in there too, though they distribute, but I don't think either of those get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, those are definitely great up north. Now that I'm actually looking at the list of breweries from our list, one of the things I do want to make a note is Cognition over in Marquette is a very, very good brewery. And the second one that I think is a little bit sneaky that a lot of people might pass over and not really understand, and that's the Cadillac Winery. It's in Leroy, Michigan.
It's not in
And
Cadillac.
it's not in Cadillac, no. It's in Leroy, Michigan. I think that'd be another like great upcoming brewery, to say the least. There's plenty of breweries. Michigan, mibeermap.com is our website. Of course, you could download our app, which shows you every single brewery, meadery, and cidery in the state of Michigan, and when they open. So you'll know if there's things that are upcoming, what's going on, and of course, upcoming beer festivals, which there isn't really too much upcoming other than the Brewsology Beer Fest, which is going to be coming up in March of next year.
What about you, Rob? We haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Indiana beers, which aren't, or breweries, which aren't going to help you all too much, but or there's not going to be too much overlap.
I mean, we're a national podcast. We get a lot of
Sure,
listeners.
Yeah.
So one I'm excited about is Kismetic Brewing. It's on the east side of Indianapolis, so I don't get out there easily. But they do a lot of the traditional styles. They do some of the newer stuff too, but mostly the traditional styles. But I don't know if they make everything with tea, but they make a lot of stuff with tea as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
it just adds a nice mild flavor, a little extra something to them. They have a Hefeweizen with tea that is delicious. I absolutely love it. There's a brewery on the northeast side. I think it's in Fishers called Primeval Brewing. I would happily name drop them anytime. They are doing some spectacular German style beers, as well as some of the, the more American trendy stuff, but their German style beers are just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I get
Actually looking them
those
up right
whenever
now. They look pretty good.
the Kismetic
Got a
or
Hellas, Primeval.
yeah.
They
So
got a Roush too, which is amazing.
Yeah, I would put forth Daredevil as well. I don't know if they can still be considered up and coming because they've been around for quite a while, but they lead with their IPAs, which are good, but they're just, another IPA in the field. But they also will often have a Roush. Their Kolsch is just wonderful. It's really delicious, and it's usually on tap. Then they've got a few other styles like that, the more traditional stuff. Yeah, if people are ever heading through, Primeval is a great stop. Kismetic is a great stop. It's just in a weird location if you're heading through.
So I was trying to find the name of a brewery in Denver that I went to. It's actually outside of Denver on the way to Golden, which I thought it was amazing, but I can't find the name, so I'll have to post it later.
There's so many breweries there too. It's hard to
I know it.
well, let me look through a list and see, or the map. And
There's so many that I went through. I've talked about it on the show before because it was an amazing brewery. It's woman owned, women brewing it. The beer was so good. I ended up staying there for like an extra hour than I planned on. So
nice.
That one I definitely wanted to bring out. Agma's one of my favorites too, and I still think ArcLight, even though they've been around for a while, I think people just don't know how good they really are at what they do.
ArcLight's always been a great beer spot, and their distribution's very, very limited. Typically to kegs at bars, so you don't really get to it. But their sour program that they have over there?
Program.
Yeah, their Soursmith. That's what a lot of people hark on when they talk about ArcLight and show the love for it. If you actually follow the Michigan Reddit, Michigan Beer Reddit, you'll see a lot of people, and by a lot of people, one person who always posts about Lost Art beer. And a lot of their beer looks really fucking good, but it's such a hike from where I am to where it's hard to really go and try that's the downfall of being a craft beer fan, is sooner or later you can't just go out and go somewhere just for a beer, especially when there's. You went there for your birthday,
and they were doing, because I went on Halloween and they were doing beer and candy pairing. So every beer you ordered, they gave you candy to go with it. It was kind of fun. I liked it.
Nice. I did go to 3 wonderful breweries out in San Jose. Camino Brewing is one I would strongly recommend if you're ever in that area for some reason. I saw a wonderful hockey game for one thing, but then the lady who was working the bar, it turns out she's on the brew crew too, and she was happy to talk beer for a while. because I'm the weird solo guy in the bar. And it was just, the beer was all spectacular. It was so clean and well done that they've got to be going places if they, I don't know how old they are or anything though. We didn't talk about that stuff.
All right.
When I
Well,
was in
go on, Wendy.
when I was in Iowa too, in Decorah, there's a brewery besides Toppling Goliath called Pulpit Rock, which was amazing. But then we went to another one called Pivo Brewing, and they were so spot on. They had a million different varieties, and they were so true to style, and it was amazing. Like, Ken, you would have loved that place. A lot of flavored beer.
Beer flavored beer. That's what I'm here for. Not in flight format though, of course, right?
And fucking
Yeah,
spot
not
on. It was
flight format.
delicious.
I didn't do a flight at Camino. I did 3 different 5-ounce pours, or 2 5-ounce pours and 2 10-ounce pours is what I did. But
That's like a flight Ken does
sequentially.
not approve. Ken
It
does
was
not approve.
sequentially.
No,
They
he
did not
approves
pour all
because it
4 at
doesn't
once.
call the flight.
Don't
That's
you
right.
dare try multiple beers at a brewery you might not ever go back to. You need to order one beer, that's it.
First of all, I've never said that specific sentence. I've never said you have to only have one beer and then you're done. Second of all, flights are annoying, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So we're going to my
That's an
topic.
opinion.
It's a right opinion. Remember, Dan, my show.
Here come the 1-star reviews. Good job.
I could mute now that I have StreamYard. I can mute you all. I can just say screw you all. I don't care about your opinion. It's my show.
I'll just log in first and take control.
I got nothing after that.
Yeah.
That was all a joke, by the way, folks. If you're listening, that's a
Yeah,
joke.
no 1-star reviews, please.
Yeah, at least give us 2 stars.
Oh, I thought we were being told to give him a 1-star review.
No,
No.
we'll have to fill you in one day.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of branch off a little bit about the first topic we did with craft beer for episode 334, which we talked about growlers to go, having the UKEG, having the canned beer that you could turn into a draft beer. And my article talks about the struggle of getting craft breweries to get folks to take beer home. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I love drinking craft beer at home because then I don't have to drive anywhere and I can get silly and sloppy and watch TV and have fun. So when I go to a brewery, I'm very limited when I decide what I want to drink. I don't overdrink, over partake. I make sure that, I use my little backtrack if I know I'm going to be out for a little bit. So to-go beer is very important. As we've talked about on the show, Dan and I earlier this year, we were in Texas. Dan was the one that could get sloppy and silly and have all these high ABV beers while we're going from brewery to brewery. I, on the other hand, focused a little bit more on the to-go beers so that when we got back to our Airbnb, I could, chain drink beer as if it's a cigarette, lighting the next cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
You
Which
can
we
catch
did.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So over the past 5 years, it's said that to-go beer for breweries minus the 2020, 2021 bump for a lot of people buying to-go beer, it's finally retracted below 2019 standards. Do you like to take beer home when you go to a brewery? Not a beer store, not a beer bar, but a brewery. Are you taking beer home? And what's your most preferred method to take beer home? Starting with Wendy.
It depends on the beer. Because if I really like it and I know I'm going to drink it within the next day or two, I'll take a growler. I have way too many growlers though, and I stopped leaving them in my car because a lot of places weren't doing growlers during the pandemic. So I don't carry a growler around anymore. So generally I will bring home cans, but I do like to bring home beer from the brewery because I'm supporting that brewery directly.
Rob?
Yeah, I also bring home beer from breweries when I can, when I know I'm going to be able to drink it in the near future. So the main brewery I go to on a Tuesday night. I don't usually drink Wednesday and Thursday. will, but not always. So that growler is going to sit in my fridge for a few days before I get to it. So that's that becomes, that's the equation I have to balance. But then I also will sometimes go to a place on Saturdays, Friday or Saturday, that's a bike ride away, so I can fill myself up and then fill up a growler and bike the growler home for the weekend.
Dan, what about you?
So going to a brewery specifically, if they can do a crowler, Wendy brought up something interesting. I don't think I've gotten a growler since pre-COVID. If I have, I don't remember. But if I can do a crowler somewhere, and it's a beer I like, definitely. There's one brewery here down the street, and the way they price everything, you can get a pint for $7 or a crowler for $10. So I'll definitely bring that home. I mean, that's a great deal. And I'm like, can you just like pour it into a crowler and not put a lid on it so I can just not have to keep ordering? But they don't. They're like, no, we can't do that. But typically, if I want to get cans or like crowler fills, if it's not for a brewery, I'm typically going to go to the beer store. Usually when I go to a brewery, it's to drink it there, which I think is what they're seeing now, that we can all go back out again.
Yeah, I haven't bought to go beer. So again, my story about Texas was like a one weekend trip. Like it was just a specific thing. Here in Michigan,
We loaded at Whip It.
oh my God, Whip-In.
Oh, Whip In.
Whip-In.
Not the Devo song.
Yeah, no, Whip-In in Austin, Texas. Holy fuck. That food was good, and that had a little kick to it too.
Yeah, that was really good. I agree.
I feel that if I'm going to a brewery, like as Dan said, I'm going there to just drink beer and then I'm going home. Like I'm not going to really take anything from there home. There's usually no reason for me to, because I'm not going to drink that much at home. Plus I've got my keg at home. Plus I've got beer at home. Like I remember the days of bringing stuff home and going to Zaytuna Liquor all the time and bringing home, $150, $200 worth of beer. Those days have just kind of passed me now. And I don't know if it's really like a burnout craft.
Now you're bartering for $1.
Listen, you're
bartering at the liquor store.
You too can get Wolverine Massacre 2017 for $1 a bottle, as long as you promise to pay $1 a bottle for some of the other beers that might not be shelf stable. I shouldn't say shelf stable; they aren't like Open Firm or
they're not blowing up like brick cans.
Yeah, they're not blowing up, but they're definitely got some age to it. If I'm buying a beer that says Arcadia Ales on it and doesn't say Superfluid, I know I'm buying a beer that's like 5 years old. But I mean, how many times I remember when I was buying Axle cans during the COVID years? Like it's one of those things to where if I can get a deal on it, that's great. But for taking to-go beers from a brewery, I mean, I think those days are kind of over for me. I think it was great back in the days when like the three options in Metro Detroit, like kind of where we were Black Lotus, Dragon Mead, and Kunin. And those beers weren't necessarily on the shelves. So you went and got it to drink home so you could have it at home for the times that you're drinking. Now I can go to fucking 7-Eleven and Steve's Party Store and John's Pizzeria that has beer to go, and I can get beer from there. Like it's
so tomorrow I think I'm going to do home brewing stuff and go with a friend, pick up supplies and whatnot. That's probably what we're doing. But so we'll be going to Great Fermentations. A lot of homebrewers have definitely ordered from them online, but right next door is Beer Brewery. And so we will definitely bring growlers and get beers filled to bring home, because that's what you drink while you homebrew.
Absolutely. Quick question. I don't want to derail it completely. Are you doing whole all grain over a propane burner, or what do you do?
No, I just boil water on my stove.
Extract. Okay.
Yeah, extract. Yeah.
Have you ever tried brewing a bag, doing 3 gallons instead of 5 on the stovetop?
I brew about 2.5 gallons to 3 gallons on the stovetop, and then I top up to 5 afterward. So it
So
is
you're doing
a
extract.
bag. Yeah.
Look into
Well,
what they
it's
do.
grain in a bag.
Oh, it's brew in a bag. Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. Perfect.
Yeah, I've done
Nice.
the whole grain with my brother-in-law before. We had a lot of fun doing that too.
Nice.
We
Sorry,
even did
didn't mean
second
to derail
runnings,
it.
but yeah.
In the chat on YouTube,
That
Waffo
1 gallon
says,
kit from
What's
Go
that,
on,
Wendy?
Oh,
Oh, we
sorry.
lost-
I it stopped. Here. Am I not talking to you
we're
anymore?
waiting on you. Yes, we hear you.
What were
Oh, okay. That 1 gallon brew kit from Brooklyn, that's an all grain kit.
Yeah,
Okay.
typically
There's a
1
lot
gallons
of-
are.
lot
Typically
of
1 gallons
stuff.
are. Yep. Anyways, go ahead, Ken. We got
All
comment?
right. Yeah, from YouTube, Waffo says for some reason most breweries around here charge more for a growler fill than a 4-pack of 16 ounces.
Ouch.
The math doesn't work out. 72 ounce versus 64 ounce. Plus, I don't have to drink it all at once. Yeah, if you're charging more for 4 pints for the growler, then I don't know what you're doing. That sounds like a poor business decision to say the least. Unless it's a beer that you want to make sure is there. Like
Yeah,
if this is a growler of a beer that's like your stationary beer and you're almost out of it or whatever, like to lose that in-person sale, that's probably the only reason I could think of where you would charge more.
We did at the end of one night once order 4 pints of a beer and pour it into a growler and left.
So that's a good point. The beer store I typically go to right up the street here, a lot of times they'll have Speedway Stout on draft and they'll have Speedway Stout in 4-packs and singles. The Speedway Stout Crowler is going to cost $16. The Speedway Stout 4-pack is $13.99. Why am I getting a Crowler if I can get a 4-pack for a couple dollars less?
Fresher.
Fresher.
I guess.
There are some price decisions and sale decisions that people make that I quite don't understand. Like we talked about, like if it's a beer that you don't want to leave the building, but that person is very adamant about taking a growler home, sure, I'm going to charge you more for it. Because maybe it's your specialty beer or a beer that you want people to make sure that it lands to more people, like more people get a chance to drink it. Sure, great, perfect, understand. But if you're selling, like if it was a brewery that's selling $4 a pint and then the growler is $20, I'd be like, let's take a look back at this. So you guys still, it's rare when I go buy a beer or bring a beer home from a brewery, unless it's just a beer that I could never really even get naturally. And even then, it's still a rare case. But I think a lot of people are still wanting to support that local brewery. They want to support bringing a growler home, bringing cans home, etc., which is perfectly fine. So this is from former guest of Better on Draft, Andrew Copland of the Secret Hopper, who does a lot of data-driven points for sales within the Secret Hopper. So yeah, that's going to do it for the Craft Beer News segment, December 8th, 2023. For myself, Wendy, Rob, and Dan, we appreciate you listening, of course, every Friday night, 7:15 p.m. Eastern. And no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft. Have a good night.
Cheers.